everybody, how's it going? Wonderful to see you again. If this is the first time you're seeing my face, hey. I just graduated college, which is insane, and really I've yet to kind of wrap my mind around that. I mean, we're in the middle of a global pandemic. It's not like there's much like celebrating or anything that's happening right now either, so it's very anticlimactic. Like I literally just all of a sudden finished 17 years of education on a Tuesday afternoon, and then I just watched Friends the rest of the day. Like it really wasn't super special. I mean, allegedly I'll still get like a graduation ceremony of some sorts come May, hopefully. I was in virtual school for the last 2 years of high school too, so I've actually never even had a graduation at all. College and just my experience in Boston and at BU have been such a huge part of kind of my career and development, especially here on YouTube. And so I kind of wanted to think about and ask, like, what could I do to sort of wrap up the content you've seen from me in Boston, because I'm still in Boston, I'll still be for a few months at least. I just feel like we need to like almost put a bow on what college was and kind of celebrate that and celebrate here. I'm gonna do kind of a Q&A sort of thing. I mean, my 4 years at BU were so unpredictable. Like if you asked me where I thought I would be 4 years ago, it would not be here with the specific degree I have and with the experiences I have. I went abroad and I changed my major so many times, and now I'm in like the political field, and it's very interesting just the way my sort of interests and hobbies and how I've prioritized the things that I love doing just over 4 years, and how much I've just grown as an adult. It's weird to be 22 years old now. So what I did was I reached out to a few of you who've really kind of been following my college journey and have asked me questions and stuff as I posted previous videos, and said like what would be like one final question or one question that you would want to know, and I'll put it together in a really short, just kind of simple Q&A video like the one you're watching right now. A lot of people who've been kind of following my sort of journey have been people who've been entering college themselves. I was so fortunate 4 years ago. My older sister had already been through school, and my parents kind of knew what that was like. It was very much just following like in those sort of footsteps. Like it wasn't much of an uncharted territory for me. I did decide to move the furthest away from home as possible. My family was living in San Francisco at the time, and then I moved to Boston. I have never ever regretted that decision. I have fallen more and more in love with the city every single day, and truthfully, I could not imagine my life if I didn't meet the people I met here at BU. So like that just thought like scares me. Let's just dive into these questions, because you asked some really good ones, and ones I think I've answered before in previous videos, but probably would answer a little differently now. The best advice for the class of 2024. Absolute best piece of advice would just be to know where you want to end up, but don't map out every single step of the way. Like the absolute best times of my entire college experience were the unplanned events, or the things that were spontaneous, or the things that just felt so random and off the path that actually it helped me to find a path that I liked even more. And I know that's super vague, but not a lot of people know this. I came into BU like thinking I was going pre-med. Like I wanted to be a pediatrician 4 years ago. And although that would still be super cool, I'm just somebody who's not cut out for that. I'm a little bit more of a frantic, workaholic, creative person. Accept things as they come, but also accept that things are going to constantly change. Like the first few weeks of school, it's always like you just want to meet your best friends and get settled super quick, because that's just what we're used to knowing. Like your whole life up until college is so set and predetermined, and like you have your kind of core group of people that you identify with, and then once you're thrown into the bubble of school and you know absolutely nobody, you just kind of seek to fill that same sort of void instantly. You value that sort of gratification quicker than the actual quality of it. And so like I think the friends I had at the beginning of freshman year, I have not talked to in years. I really made my absolute best friends my junior year of college. I have a couple friends from freshman year who I still talk to often and are considered like the people I went through college with. But like some of my best friends now I went abroad with last fall. Things just change so much, and people prioritize themselves in their own agendas, and friendship kind of just follows along with it. And so at least that's the way I did things and I felt like it turned out pretty well. At the end of the day, the people who stick with you and all of your madness are gonna be the people you want with you long term anyway. What would you do differently about your time at BU? It's so tough just because I think if I changed anything, I wouldn't end up where I was right now. I just did so many things that like I'm never gonna be able to do again. Like a huge part of my BU experience was like broadcast journalism, which I have no intention of going into at all, which sounds kind of crazy, but that's just kind of the bliss of school. Like I just got to try out so many different kinds of things, and like my team, we won like Emmys for that, and it was like just be in front of a camera, and like there's so many little things that just add up to build the skill set of where I am now. I think if I absolutely had to change something though, I think I probably would have told myself to live a little bit more the first 2 years, because junior year and senior year you wouldn't get much done because of the pandemic. But there's just so many hurdles that were thrown my way, and I just love adapting to things that I wouldn't change anything, which is such a cheesy answer, and so many of you are gonna roll your eyes at this, but it's literally the truth. How did you make your decision about where to go? This is a super easy question because BU is the only school I got into. I made a really cringy video when I first got in, and I think it's one of my most viewed videos ever, and I don't even know why I was talking about getting into BU and stuff, because I literally had not even stepped foot like at school yet. I don't know why I thought I had the expertise to give that information, but no, I applied for very difficult schools, and BU was the only one I got into. I was waitlisted at NYU. I don't think I would have ended up going there, because the second I stepped foot on BU, I love the community here. Like, people like to have fun, but people are also so driven professionally and academically. It's literally the best of both worlds. What was the moment that defined your college experience the most? I think it was the moments when I realized how old I was getting. Like, it was the summer I spent in New York, where I was paying rent for the first time, and I was working 9 to 5, 40 hours a week, and it was so like overwhelming, and just meeting new people. I think like the friends I made that summer I'm still friends with now, and we still talk. I haven't seen some of them since that summer, truthfully. But I think it's those moments where you like go, oh my god, there is just so much of the world to see, and there's just so much to learn. I was somebody who hated school growing up. Like, ask my parents, ask anyone. I like threw tantrums in elementary school. I hated going to school. I hated everything about it. I never wanted to go to school as long as it was optional, and I'm sure my parents probably would have bet money I would say no to college. But here we are, I finished, and I might even go to grad school. I think it was the times when I was most afraid, and I think it was the times that I was being thrown on camera, anchoring election stuff, and feeling like I didn't know what I was doing, but for some reason somebody felt I should be there, and then that was enough for me. I think it was those kind of moments where just some sort of mentality that was always meant to be sort of fell into place, and it just sticks with me forever. And I truthfully do not think I would be able to be as confident and just as adaptable and as, I don't know, witty of a person as I am if it wasn't for college. I graduated early, by the way. I guess that's kind of an elephant in the room kind of thing. That was a plan of mine just because I wanted to enter the job market. I felt like I was kind of done with school. I felt like I had truthfully gotten as much as I could out of the university. I mean, I did absolutely everything. I was involved with so many different things, and I was doing my own kind of creative projects on the side. This past semester, I was working 3 internships, 2 social media ambassador programs, and school, and was doing like a huge broadcast special piece, like basically the entire semester. And it was just so much, and I've been juggling so many things for so long, and starting like my own business and working on my own creative agenda. It was just a lot, and I kind of wanted to consolidate and like just take the next step because I was ready for that. I'm also somebody who's moved around a ton throughout my life, and it just feels very natural after a few years to move on and try something new. That's all for this video. I wanted to keep it kind of simple and not over talk or overshare, but truthfully, college is like some of the best years of my life, despite the pandemic and despite all the hurdles and everything. I'm seriously so grateful for the opportunity. I know many people aren't as fortunate as I am to get such an incredible and fulfilling education, and I just encourage everybody to consider the fact that I learned so much more outside of the classroom than I ever did inside of the classroom, and so much of college is not about the classes. Do not focus your experience on what you're taking, focus on what you can learn outside of any academia. I think that's the most valuable piece of advice I can give. I still love to talk about school, and I'm still around BU, and I still have friends in school, and so it feels very natural for me. So if you have any questions at all, reach out to me, DM me, do whatever you want. You can comment below. We can have a chill conversation about it. I'm really excited for people to continue the experience and continue, like, I don't know, I'm sure I'll talk about my college experience a little bit more. My little sister just started school, and so and my older sister's in grad school. Like, school has just been a huge part of my entire family's life, and I'll probably end up in grad school someday. Until then though, we're here, we're doing our thing. I've got lots of cool stuff in the works now that I have the time and I'm a real adult, which is crazy. Thank you guys so much for your support over the 4 years. I really found so much joy in doing YouTube and being creative and such through music and Friendly and all the other projects that you've so generously supported. It's really inspired me to get to this point. So thank you, much more to come, and we'll talk soon. All right, bye.